Well, today this wasn't our day. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hot Stove Media. Here capping this afternoon's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves as the Phillies lose 6-3 to the Braves as they drop the third game of this four-game series. Bailey Falter struggles this afternoon, going 3 2/3 and allowing 6 earned. Now, guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. Quite the disappointment here this afternoon in South Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. So the Atlanta Braves, after losing the first two games of this four-game series, of course, losing the first game on Thursday night 1-0, then losing the second game on Friday night by a final score of 9-1, come back and defeat the Phils in the third game of the series 6-3 as their offense came alive against Bailey Falter, and they rocked him, right? And it's hard to be mad at Bailey Falter, especially when you look and see what he has done for this Phillies team and what he has provided this Phillies team. Zach Wheeler, the ace of this rotation. Him and Nola, of course, I'd say it's about equal this year. But anyway, when a horse in the Phillies rotation goes down with an injury, the guy who's taking his place really needs to step up, and he stepped up in a big way, a huge way. He had a bad start here this afternoon, so it's hard to be overly mad at Bailey Falter. Certainly he wasn't good here this afternoon at all, and the loss this afternoon I definitely would have put on his shoulders, but it's hard to get overly upset at this guy, especially when you go and take a look at what he's done for this team. It has to also come down to some other guys too. Of course, the bullpen was absolutely incredible here this afternoon, a huge bright spot in this loss. But the offense, not really much going on. Of course, only 3 runs on 3 hits. Bryce Harper, the absolute tank out the left field, he really needed that one. Hopefully that'll get him going. My goodness, that ball was absolutely crushed, hit over 400 feet. That's the Bryce Harper I know going the other way. But other than that, really not anything exciting. I'll be honest with you. As we pick up the scoring summary here in the top of the second inning, Vaughn Grissom singles on a ground ball to center field, and Travis d'Arnaud comes around to score, and it's 1-0 Atlanta. So the Braves jump ahead early, 1-0 off of Bailey Falter. This wasn't a good start for him right out the bat. It just wasn't. Of course, he did strike out 6 in his 3 2/3 innings of work, but still, he didn't really look very sharp. Then we pick it up here in the top of the third inning. William Contreras, the Philly killer, it seems like. Homers on a fly ball to right center field. His 20th tank of the season, and it's 2-0 Atlanta. So William Contreras circles the bases against the Phillies once again. This guy absolutely kills the Phillies. Luckily, this was only a solo shot. Not really mattered in this game. Of course, we would still go on to lose this game. At that time, you're thankful that was just only a solo home run. Then we pick it up here in the top of the fourth inning. Michael Harris, the second, homers on a fly ball to left field. A 2-run shot also scores Marcell Ozuna. And then Braves now lead it 4-0. So it seemed like that ball just kept carrying the wind. 100% got a hold of that one. I was just so frustrated, thinking oh my goodness gracious, you go take a look at Kyle Schwarber the other night when he hit that towering fly ball to right field. The wind brought that back in. Clearly brought that back in, and of course the wind has to push this one out. So of course Schwarber's ball was hit out to right field. Of course it was to left field. So Harris the second's 19th round tripper of the season off of Bailey Falter, going the other way, and it's 4-0 Atlanta. So you think at that point oh my gosh, great 2 wins by this Phillies team to start this 4-game series, but this third game ain't really starting off too pretty. That is for sure. The offense is doing nothing. Bailey Falter looks like he is faltering. I'm not really feeling too confident at this point. Then we pick it up here in the same inning. Dansby Swanson singles on a ground ball to center field, and Vaughn Grissom comes around to score, and the Braves now lead it 5-0. So the Braves now commanding 5-0 lead, and I'm not sure what in the world Rob Thompson was doing during this time. I just have no idea. This was hit after hit after hit, and he still has not taken him out of the ball game. He waited way too long to take Bailey Falter out of the ball game. Here's a guy that doesn't really go a whole lot of length. Even when he's having a good start, he usually doesn't go very deep, right? Only 5-6 innings max. So I'm not sure why. This is an Aaron Nola out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an innings eater. So I don't know why in the world he waited so long to take Bailey Falter out of the game. He clearly doesn't have it, but yet he continues to leave him in. Now we pick it up here in the same inning. William Contreras does it again as he singles on a line drive to center field. Orlando Arcia comes around to score, and it's now 6-0 Atlanta. So you wait for the Braves to push across 6 runs, and then you decide to take out Bailey Falter. Well, too little, too late. I'm sorry. Too little, too late. So we knew I knew the ball game was over at that point. I mean, it was pretty much just a foregone conclusion. We were going to lose this game. I didn't really have a whole lot of faith. I mean, especially with what the Phillies were doing. Of course, they were hitless at this point. And it took them a while to get their first hit of the ball. And of course, that would be in the bottom of the sixth inning. Rhys Hoskins with a double. He'd be the first guy to collect a knock. And that brings us here to the bottom of the sixth inning. Bryce Harper, who was in the midst of an 0 for 12 up to this point. Homers on a fly ball the other way to left center field. A blast that traveled 404 feet. Two-run blast who scores Hoskins, number 18 on the year for Harp, and the Phillies get on the board now a 6-2 ball game. So Bryce Harper needed that one. That is the Bryce Harper I know. I mean, that classic, clean, powerful, torquey stroke to left field. So he absolutely murdered that baseball, a loud sound to it. So it seems like a lot of the home runs he's been hitting, right, have been going the other way. It seems like Harp is on track for, 20 tanks this year, at least 20 tanks. I mean, I got to believe he's going to do it. I mean, we're going to the Windy City of Chicago. Number one, not only are we going to the Windy City of Chicago, but we're doing it at a time where it's especially windy. Of course, fall, very windy time of year. And then he's going back to Nationals Park, a place where he absolutely rakes, especially against their pitching staff. So I got to believe he's going to get to 20. I mean, he's pretty much got it set up right here. Of course, he was able to collect his 59th and 60th RBIs of the season here this afternoon. We pick it up here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Nick Maton hits a sacrifice fly to center field. Brandon Marsh comes around to score, and the Phillies cut the lead in half now, a 6-3 ball game. So Nick Maton continues to just give so much production during his time in the Phillies lineup. Right? I mean, this guy's just been so productive wherever he's been, and he's just such a great utility guy. Some more fundamental baseball coming from the Phils right there. As I said, too little, too late. That's why you don't leave him in, until he allows the sixth run of the ball game. So that would be your final 6-3 Atlanta. They take the third game of this 4-game set. And I'm frustrated about this. I mean, I'm not overly frustrated. Of course, you're not going to win every game, but I'm just why? Why did you leave Bailey Falter in as long as you did? That is my question. I mean, he clearly is showing signs that he didn't have it today. In some ways he did, in some ways he didn't. Of course, 6 strikeouts, 3 2/3 innings of work. That certainly ain't too shabby. A lot of swings and misses, but at the same time, still a lot of solid contact. On the other way around. It was kind of a weird start this afternoon for Bailey Falter. Kyle Schwarber out of the leadoff spot. He was hitless, but he was able to draw a walk, also going down in strikes once as well. Rhys Hoskins, one knock this afternoon, of course, was the double off of Kyle Wright, his 31st of the season, scores on the Bryce Harper 2-run shot. And speaking of Bryce Harper, the 2-run home run to left field at 404 feet. It traveled. Harper was also able to draw a walk. I mean, your Phillies Hot Soup Media Offensive Player of the Game. A very productive afternoon for Bryce. A 901 OPS. The OPS now jumps above the 900 mark once again. 60 RBIs. Average still sits at 288. So 18 round trippers for Bryce. I'm praying that this gets him going. I'm praying that Bryce Harper now is going to get on a run as we're getting close to closing out the season. Of course, only 11 games to go. Of course, this was game 151, and JT Realmuto goes hitless behind the plate. Not much out of him, and Album goes hitless over at third. Everybody was just being mowed down today. I mean, it just was not a fun game to watch. I'll be honest, except for the Bryce Harper home run. Of course, that was very fun to watch. Any Bryce home run is fun to watch. And Brandon Marsh goes hitless out in center as he goes down on strikes twice as well. And of course, he was able to score on the Nick Maton sacrifice fly. And Gene Segura collects a knock here this afternoon on a single and draws another walk. So Gene Segura collects another walk. So Gene the walk machine. Am I right? I just can't believe it. I talked about it this morning, how much better this guy has gotten in the walk department. This is a guy that never walked. Never. Now he's walking like crazy. And 741 OPS now for Gene. Of course, he does have a career 739 OPS. And Bryson Stott continues to struggle, goes 0 for 4 here this afternoon. So his bat has been ice cold. He has just been ice cold. OPS now drops to 637, 228 average now for him. Over his last 7 games, 125 average, 214 OBP, and a 125 slugging. Over his last 15, 208 average, a 283 OBP, and a 245 slugging. So he's certainly been on the downtrend as of late, no question about that. And Nick Maton goes hitless out in right, but he was able to collect an RBI on that sac fly. So as I said, the Phillies only collect 3 hits here this afternoon, draw 3 walks, and strike out 8 times. So they're pretty quiet off of Kyle Wright. who's had a great year. You got to give it to him. He's had a great year. As I said, the first pitcher in baseball this year to get the 20 wins. So congratulations to him. And Bailey Falter, 3 2/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, all 6 were earned, no walk, and 6 strikeouts. 4.21 ERA now for Bailey Falter. Gets back with a loss. Now 5-4 in the year. As I just mentioned like a million times before, Zach Wheeler goes out with the injury. Bailey Falter takes his place in rotation, and he steps up and produces in a very big way. Much better than we thought he would, and now he has earned himself a spot in this rotation. So it is hard to be mad at Bailey Falter. You know what I mean? It's hard to be mad at this guy for how much he has done for this Phillies team. I'm going to go back to it again. Rob Thompson. He just was hit after hit after hit, and he's just still standing there. I'm not going to make the jog out there, and, it's just like, what are you doing? He waited way too long to take Bailey Falter out. Way too long. I was sitting there watching, like, what is he waiting for? What in the world is he waiting for? And especially when you see how good the bullpen has been today. I mean, who knows? Maybe it wouldn't have been good in that inning, but of course he finally did make the move. And Angel Bilotti, it was no problem like that. Bam, over. You know what I mean? It was over like that. So finally he had enough, and I guess he just couldn't take it anymore. He pretty much waited till the last second. When it was already too late. It was already too late. You know what I mean? The damage was already done. 6 runs across the board. That was it. I knew we lost at that point. I don't mean to be Mr. Negative, but I'm Mr. Objective. I just say it like it is. You know what I mean? I don't shy away at my feelings. So Angel Bilotti, an inning and a third, 2 hits, didn't allow any runs, strikes out 3, a 3.16 ERA for Bilotti. Bronner Brogdon, an inning, 1 walk. That was pretty much it. And Seranthony Dominguez allows 1 hit, strikes out 1. Very productive. A 2.81 ERA now for Seranthony Dominguez. And David Robertson, a nice clean inning here this afternoon as well. In the top of the 8th inning, striking out 1. A 2.37 ERA for Robertson. And Zach Eflin comes in the top of the 9th inning and allows 1 hit. He also was very productive as well. I love Zach Eflin in this role. So this bullpen was dynamite here this afternoon. Dynamite. So it's a shame that Bailey Falter really, really struggled. So it's hard to get, overly mad about this loss. I'm still proud of this team for playing so well against the Atlanta Braves. And this was not a laugher. We didn't lose 6-0. We didn't lose 6-1. Of course, it was a 6-3 ball game. So we ended up cutting the lead in half. But unfortunately, that just wasn't enough. And our offense was just mowed down today by Kyle Wright. Mowed down. Absolutely mowed down. So tomorrow we have Charlie Morton, a guy we've hit pretty well. Of course, former Phil Charlie Morton, 9-6 with a 4.09 ERA going against Kyle Gibson. Oh boy, the bats better come up big tomorrow. I'll tell you what, because we're not going to get good starting pitching. I can tell you that right now. 10-7 with a 4.71 ERA, and that's a perfect example of records are just so outdated as a stat to really take good value out of. The fact that Kyle Gibson has a winning record this year is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Especially when he has a 4.71 ERA. He's been terrible. Absolutely terrible. So this offense needs to show up tomorrow. Needs to show up tomorrow. As I said, we're not going to get good starting pitching. We're not. This is our number 5 guy, and he's just so inconsistent. Oh my gosh, I'm just so tired of Kyle Gibson. Of course, then we got the off day on Monday, and then we traveled to Chicago. So tomorrow is Fan Appreciation Day, the final game at Citizens Bank Park this season. Hard to believe. Did this season fly by? Because I really think it did. It seems like every year just keeps going by faster and faster and faster. So it's just crazy. I just can't believe we're at the end of the season now. Everybody's going to be at the ballpark tomorrow for the Fan Appreciation Day. And, of course, the past 3 seasons, we have not ended the season at home, which I don't really care for very much. I love ending the regular season at home. Of course, in 2020, we ended that in Tampa Bay. In 2021, we ended our season in Miami. And this year, we are going to be ending our season in Houston, Texas. So, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Hot Media, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Media. Card text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshotsmedia@gmail.com. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phillies. I'll see you guys.